opening.
Yeah.
We have a Naga and a Lina. The Magnus has got to go here, isn't it?
I'm sure it does. There's no way they give Magnus 3 times in a row to IG.
What if OG gets
Rio
Magnus
out of the tournament?
Okay.
I mean,
IG will have a plan for it. Surely they plan not to get Magnus, right? I think this is just like a luxury. They're just like, oh, they're giving us Magnus again.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But they're not. And IG are not going to let them have the Alchemist either.
First pick Terrorblade? Is it?
I was about to say, do you risk IG taking
possible?
Terrorblade away from you?
Did they go back to the Visage first pick? Haven't seen it yet in the grand final. Kev thinks they've lost a bit of confidence in that.
I vote Terrorblade.
I guess it works. It protects against the Lifestealer.
King.
All right.
I don't think IG will take Terrorblade away from you.
I don't think they will
they'll
either.
do that.
So
That'd be hilarious, though.
They
take Terrorblade away, and they're like, oh, no.
Q plays mind games,
no
man.
illusion
He's
heroes.
tricky.
They could go Terrorblade Earth Spirit if they wanted to.
Or Earth Spirit Lifestealer, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean,
could be. I mean, Burning was fantastic in that last game. No reason to switch away from what he's doing.
Oh, up against Monkey King. Let's see.
they could Jug as well, but...
The Angel Bat Rider up against Monkey King? No, that's not going to happen.
Wrong team.
What happened to Connell, by the way? Why is this guy, he was like 1-2 pickup. He was, it was 3-4, but the point is the tournament he became a lot less relevant. Why do you think that is?
I think mainly it was because they were using him early on as a Monkey King, right? A counter, right?
I wasn't asking you.
You were looking at me.
Not you.
Dude, Paul's been right about almost every time he speaks up, he's been right. I don't know why you're
But they were using
him.
it as a Connell, guys.
Yes,
Connell was being
Monkey
used
King
as
counter.
a Monkey King counter earlier, but it hadn't worked, has it?
It was picked a lot more games than that.
Yeah.
It's just
but going into the tournament, it was not being picked up as just surely a Monkey King counter.
They could bring back Caudle. I mean, I know OG likes to play it. They could do Caudle Monkey King supports. Or Spirit, what, Lifestealer?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
I think it's the plan.
We'll see. They used a bit of their reserve time, actually quite a bit, almost, yeah, over a minute.
I don't think there's...
They picked their first hero to buy them like 15 seconds as well.
They're stretching.
Yeah. Is there any
That's
offlaner
right
that
there,
you...
thinking about it.
I was going to ask if LC is always a 3-4 ban. XXS is really good at it, and I feel like it's the best offlaner you can get your hands on right now. It used to be Centaur, but this Legion has been really impactful for the tournament.
It's done really well, especially against weak lanes. OG, though, has a Monkey King, so that kind of cements them into having a strong lane, I feel.
Yeah, because Monkey King isn't going to roam. He's going to zone LC,
I think so. Yeah, we'll see what Jarex decides to do, but I feel like that's the route they would most likely take. It's, I feel like it's also just a comfort hero for XXS. It's, you know, Magnus being banned. They just want to secure him, one of his favorite heroes in the first 2.
It also blocks Terrorblade pick from OG in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I don't know if it totally blocks, but it's definitely very good.
Nukes bonus damage against illusions.
Yeah,
no Sunder, basically.
super good.
It's good.
I'd still be down for Terrorblade for OG, though.
Yeah.
Like some Terrorblade Dazzle or something. Supports, that'd be cool.
Yeah, there's so many defensive supports that are left in the pool. They've already shown Shadow Demon, Venge, Dazzle. Like, they can't ban them all away, so...
Definitely options.
Let's go TD.
So they should probably try and pick something that lanes decently well against Legion Commander for S4 here. Trying to think what that
Yeah,
could
just
be.
in case they
Axe?
do like an aggro dual lane or something.
Axe could be nice.
What if they just go with like Lifestealer core and ditch No-Tail left in?
It's not a no-tail hero. I genuinely do not think they will play it.
Oh, Ember.
Okay.
Interesting pick. He can go. He's a natural Lincoln's carrier. I guess you could say, right?
And he's also a bit of a split pusher as well.
Yeah,
He's
it's nice.
You know, something that's really plagued OG in this series so far is that Ana's never really had a hero that he can go off with. I feel like maybe he could have done a last game on Invoker, but he shut down so much in lane it was tough. But I think Ember is a hero that he can actually do that with.
I think they quite respect that Ember as well. They banned it in the second phase in both games.
Yeah, I think they did.
Gives him a little more opportunity to take control of his game. Allow him to really, you know, finesse OG into game 4. At least potentially.
And they still ban out the Enigma.
A fine ban.
I think a ban Invoker, right? For OG. Like, you've got Earth Spirit and Legion Commander. I feel like you could have a very impactful Sunstrike game.
Yeah, you definitely want to ban heroes that are good against Ember Spirit in lane.
Yep.
That's kind of what you're revealing, and that's kind of what you want to protect. So Tinker, solid ban, one of OP's favorite heroes, and also very good against Ember Spirit in lane. Not the best against Ember Spirit throughout the rest of the game, but with Earth Spirit in the mid lane, Ember Spirit could have a ton of problems.
I think that's a real dangerous part for OG in the series. They have yet to
Terrorblade banned.
have the Tinker.
What will No-Tail play? Will he play Juggernaut again?
Not super sold on the Jug right now.
Will he play? What will he play?
Pulls out the Wisp, goes support.
No.
Maybe
Morphling? What's a no-tail hero? What are no-tail
I think Morphling is literally the one, because most of the illusion, like you referred to like the Luna Shadow Demon combination, we saw like Newbie ran that was game 3, but it's an illusion hero, but it's like a team fight, like pushing end the game hero. It's not what OG like, which is like split pushing, ratting, and pushing it late.
They could do the Venge support, or the Venge core.
Venge core.
No-Tail's played that a couple times. I thought he looked really good on that.
I
Yeah,
like
I would
that
agree.
better because it does give you better high ground potential than the Juggernaut. Because big problem with the Ember Spirit, he just doesn't right-click towers.
Yeah, but I don't think they need to like try and end the game anytime soon. But no, you're right. Like for like the mid game and end game, if OG does take advantage, they have potential to end the game, giving them a win condition. Yeah, I like the Venge. It seems like a decent setup. Going to see that Earth Spirit Warlock combination from IG.
it's a really good team fight.
Got some big team fight. Not the best hero against Ember Spirit, but
I mean, now that you say the Vengeful Spirit, it could be, I think maybe OG is just waiting for that Burning Lifestealer to come out. Run a Venge strategy, and
I don't think Venge would dissuade IG from picking that hero.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think they're gonna pick.
oh no, I agree, but I think it's good.
Q's gonna
versus
say,
Lifestealer
"Hey,
strategies.
Burning, what hero do you want to play?" And Burning's gonna say a hero, and that's gonna be the end of the discussion.
Ooh. All right, it's back. I like it against Legion Commander. I think it's pretty good there.
Yeah, it's a Solar Crest hero, so if somebody gets dueled, throw the Solar Crest on him, dodge some attacks, give him some armor.
Some bird drops.
Yeah, some bird drops would be nice.
SF versus Ember.
Advantageous matchup for the mid lane for IG. And they still get the last pick to counter out the support, or counter out the core of No-Tail.
And the other issue with the Visage pick actually is that's really weak in lane, especially against Legion. So I feel like OG needs a really safe carry pick, but I also feel like they have to react to what IG's like solidifying with their draft right now.
You know what would be so cool? If Burning played Doom. Wouldn't that be awesome?
We haven't seen it, dude.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Not a fan.
Not a fan?
I'm not a fan of safe lane Doom.
Oh my gosh.
Is this going to be a Jug?
Unless they have some like crazy carry pick in mind that nobody's going to expect, I think they have to pick their core here.
I still feel like Venge is a decent option.
Maybe they
Okay.
maybe they're gonna pick up like a Spectre or something. Ember Spirit operates the same space as Lina in many ways.
X is nice. Thought we might see that in the first two. Good laner against Legion Commander. Doesn't really worry too much about Earth Spirit. It's pretty hard for Earth Spirit to harass Axe in the laning phase, and some BKB lockdown for the Shadow Fiend is always a good option.
They have a huge mobility advantage now too mid game on OG side. Like if they can split IG up a little bit, they can definitely get a lot of pickoffs.
Yeah, Axe can score some kills on his own with the Visage Birds, and Ember Spirit will have bots, and he'll be able to port on birds all over the map. So that's a nice little combination.
So last pick is a No-Tail hero. Medusa banned.
A No-Tail hero and then a Burning hero. Medusa is banned.
Yeah, I think that was good. Because IG definitely has teamfight advantage right now, whereas if they have Dusa ulti and they can at least offset like Warlock Golem, it would do a lot.
Yeah, it's a carry it's one of the few carries that has a lot of team fight behind him.
So
and that's kind of what OG's lacking. Like, sure, they can initiate with Axe and jump in with Ember Spirit, and Monkey King can jump in an ultimate, but IG's gonna drop Golem, Shadow Fiend all, duel someone, and magnetize, and OG's gonna have a lot of problems, I think. Earth Spirit's actually pretty good versus Axe, because you could just silence Axe as soon as he jumps in, so there's no Culling Blade.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
Druid!
It's back.
All right. Stretching for a No-Tail hero here. Not a fan.
Builds Radiance sometimes.
I mean, yeah, it's a
Manta Radiance Bear.
It's a no-tell hero, and they went. That's the thing is, sometimes that's because OG doesn't play a lot of the meta heroes that everyone else plays, so they have to stretch outside the current meta to find comfort heroes for themselves. And IG does it too. I mean, that's what Burning's been doing this entire tournament.
I mean, this hero got super nerfed with the Rabid changes. Win rate went down a lot, but then Legion kind of counters him pretty effectively, so I'm kind of unsure.
And Warlock also very good. Fatal Bonds on the Bear.
Yeah.
Great target.
And they have lots of minus armor too. The Bear's going to die a lot.
Yeah, it's not the worst pick, but it's not particularly good this game. And what are you expecting from Burning? There's still Lifestealer, Spectre.
No, Lifestealer's gone.
No, Lifestealer banned.
That's so good. Like, that's just going to completely counter Lone Druid.
Yes.
I think IG has this one super hard.
Who did the Venge Core against the Sniper lineup?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was just like killed their high ground defense.
That was like a IGV newbie series.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think IG
so,
has
game
this.
3.
The Venge Core, that's what they need.
Won it over for you?
Yeah, I think IG is going to win this one.
I like the Venge semi-carry with the Legion Commander in the offlane, who kind of almost acts as a carry as well.
Okay.
So
you're not going to drop off real fast,
I
right?
think they have a nice balance, and I think Lone Druid is going to be totally useless.
Okay. So you're going...
I'm going IG, 3-0.
as well?
IG.
Right. Okay, well, it's a clean sweep in terms of the predictions here at the panel. IG get all 3 votes. Are they going to get all 3 games and claim the championship? Let's find out as we head into game 3 with Toby 1 and Malini.
Well, Invictus Gaming definitely do have it. 3 votes from the panel. I'm fairly certain there's a big vote from the crowd, and the confidence going into game number 3 is OG, who has to try and create an upset to the rhythm that IG has in this grand final. Is Lone Druid the way to do it?
I don't think so. I haven't seen that hero in any high-level pub. I go down his live game tab. Lone Druid never there anymore after the Rabid nerf. You don't have perma Rabid.
It does seem that like OG has a lot of kiting abilities, like going through the Visage Suns, potentially with Entangle, Savage Roar, like all these things start to add up together. Yes, potentially there's a lot to work
Toby.
with. As well as having the early push. So at least the boxes the panel were looking for are getting ticked. So you're getting your push, you are getting a stable, safe lane core. It may not be the greatest, but then again, we're also looking at IG. Like we're going to see something slightly different out from them with their draft. We're going to have that VS core coming in, the SF bit, the Legion Commander. Maybe that's not as different from them, but we're pulling them away from the Magnus. We're pulling them away from having either Monkey King or, do I dare say, Ricky. So we have to see a different style of game coming out here from IG.
Is it though? They get Earth Spirit again. I guess they have a lot more right clicker in the mid. I mean, Shadow Fiend is not that difficult to play around. They seem pretty good about playing around OP.
It just feels like Invictus Gaming's, like, in Game 1 and Game 2, the harassment of the lanes of OG was just on point. Achieving that with an Earth Spirit is going to be a lot more difficult than what it was having the Ricky or having someone like a Monkey King. This is the reason why we saw OG ban out. They take out the Mag, take out the Leaner, and then first pick up the Monkey King. Obviously, this is an answer for this game. Obviously, next game, Invictus Gaming will have first pick up, and they'll have to try something completely new. As if they can reach that game. Most of the panel, in fact, all the panel, and you all believe they probably can't reach that. I'm hoping they reach it just so we see more Dota.
Ana can go crazy this game, though.
The Ember?
Yeah, he has to deal with ES and Legion, but it's still, I think, one of his best heroes, and he has a much better lane matchup this time.
Well, once he gets the Lincoln Sphere, it should be a lot safer for him, right?
If he gets Lincoln Sphere. A lot of people don't like Lincoln Sphere because it limits your damage a lot. So XSS was able to pick up a Bounty Rune. That makes 3 for IG. And No-Tail also had to start off with a Blightstone in lane. That's also one of the many nerfs that Lone Druid got in the most recent patch. You can't buy Blightstone from the side shop. Well, you don't want to start off with a Blightstone. Sometimes, I guess you have to, like in this situation, where you're not going to have much chicken access because he's in a safe lane.
But it does allow him to go this one-on-one matchup with the Legion Commander, so it's the aggressive lane from OG.
It's not ideal, though, versus Legion, because you have 2 units hitting you, so double the chance of proccing Moment of Courage. And Boboka harassing Arana. That's no fun at all.
No, this is not fun at all, but it's bottom lane where the initiation's happening. Jirax getting on to Q. Fly went for early Soul Assumption, and won't be enough damage, or will it? Jirax gets the last swing in. So OG will claim first blood.
Wow, they got a kill without any slows or any stuns.
Yep.
That is quite difficult to achieve. But Soul Assumption, I think the highest damage level 1 spell in the game.
One of these trees is not like the other. Bobica gonna find the Monkey King. Really good for Jirax as well to have that first blood. Means earlier items for him coming in. Top lane, XXS really getting up in No-Tail's face.
Yeah, he's forcing him to tank a lot of the creeps because he was creep skipping in the first wave. And as a melee hero, you're much better suited to it because you have the poor mage, or the stout shield rather, not the poor man's.
The trade-off seems to be so much better as well. He just does the harassment, goes back, takes the shrine, and now he's ahead of No-Tail in the lane. But Jirax
doesn't have Jingu and he can't trade. I do like the poor man shield over the Uv. It allows you to just be much stronger in this sort of situation. You can bully around the jungle a lot more than just with the Uv. Uv is better for ganking, but they were able to get the first blow without the Uv slow.
Okay, jump middle, Jirax. And if he can get a Searing Chain off, potentially there is the ability to go on to OP. But you also understand that, okay, well, he'll jump in. Where's that slow? Where's that stun? Anna can't get close enough. And, well, Bananas, they're meant to be healthy, not killers.
But Boca's just sitting there, Invis, waiting for an opportunity to potentially jump on Ana. He is not level 3. They need at least a level 2 raise. They can maybe go for a kill right now.
There's no Flame Guard up and running. So Copper raise, 2 seconds, 1 second. Flame Guard's back off cooldown now. So this kill looks a little bit more difficult for them.
Monkey King is not there to help him out, and it would take 2 raises for him to pop that shield.
It's pushing the lane too, but Anna is really low. Now, well, Anna gonna get attacked, rolling boulder. He'll dodge it. The Earth Spirit will go up into the tower. He's gonna get the courier as well. Willie Bobica, he'll lose his life. The courier will survive. That was an expensive courier as well. It had boots. It had a lot of other things on it.
And Ana ended up getting the kill because of the tick from the Flame Guard. Pretty nice for him.
Yeah, but he doesn't get the experience. That's the downside.
Ana maybe getting a little bit of nerves too. He actually misses Searing Chains, didn't hit anything with that.
That's a good observer ward for Jirax. It's not going to get dewarded. The sentry was already committed, but it was committed a little bit further up. So Jirax can still not freely move around.
Yeah, but Boca wanting to deal with the Monkey King pick up the Quelling Blade. It also helped him see the neutrals that was attacking the Monkey King, so we got vision of Monkey King that way. But can't really do that much versus S4. There's no home for Boca right now.
I'm surprised they put that observer ward on the dire side of the river. Obviously, it's going to see from the dire side approach. It gives him high ground vision, which is fantastic. But it doesn't see the approach of the Monkey King.
It certainly does not. Not that much he can do about it, too, except play on the left side of the creep wave. That's definitely his best option right now.
And here's Jirax coming back again.
He didn't actually go for bottle on the Shadow thing. That's pretty good for him. I mean, he needs to be able to dodge the Searing Chains, and he also has the stick early.
Here's your jump. Jumps in towards OP. Jirax, again, there's not really much for him to work with. It's more create space and let Anna have, for once, a decent start to the mid lane, even though it's 19-9 against 14-2. And that top lane is a straight trade up, 19-5 versus 19-1.
Yeah, S4 doesn't really feel scared at all. Vengeful Spirit, I mean, it's decent, not a melee core. Oh, rolling in onto him. He was trapped onto the trees, but he didn't actually place a stone for the roll from Boboka. So
he's connected to the Centaur by Fatal Bonds. I don't think it's enough damage to kill him.
I definitely do not think so.
Well, there's not enough Shrine. So yeah, he'll survive.
He
but
missed the roll,
Jirax, hello, able to find XXS over in the tree lines. Bobica gonna have to roll in, so Jirax wants to get away from this. Able to get up the hill. Orb of Venom, a real pain in the butt for a Monkey King to jump up.
It is really good. Oop 2. Or sorry, or Earn 2.
But this is now a lot more space being created. XXS forced off the top lane. Allows No-Tail now to reach ahead in the CS.
Indeed. Legion was able to do some neutrals in the meantime. So maybe that CS not as valuable for the LC. So Bobica's not particularly rich at the moment. Still working on those boots. And compare that to the First Blood Monkey King, it's not very easy for him.
Jirax still needs to get more levels. What do you think about like phase boot style on Venge? Do you like the early damage coming out from that, or do you like to lean towards treads a little bit more?
Venge, or Burning really likes his phase. It does help you maneuver around the fight a lot, which is really important versus things like Monkey King ulti, Grave Chill, Ember Spirit, who you don't want to be on top of you. but you miss out on a lot of right-click damage. Early game phase is better, later game shreds is better, but playing more for early game. And he also doesn't actually need to do that much damage to the bench this game because he has Shadow Fiend. So if he just stands there and howls people, he's still doing a lot of damage.
So combined together, you just remove all the armor, then your damage is a lot more effective still.
Some heroes have a lot of armor issues this game. Ember, even with the Veil, I think he might have to go for an armor talent this game. And the Axe has very high issues with his low base armor. Once he's called, sure, he's a lot, but...
These trees are hunting Q. Ana coming in too. Oh, that's a big rune, an invis rune. They're going to find Burning, but they don't want them. They actually are moving up towards Warlock. It's a lot more of a guaranteed kill. Ana not committing anything too heavily. They may be fair to bond up together, but Ana going for the kill he knows he can get.
And we see Fly able to absorb up experience in the meantime. He dropped on his Orb behind the tower, so he's kind of free to just leech there if he wants.
Yeah, almost up to level 4. That level 6 obviously very critical. Fly, fantastic with his familiars. We saw it in that winner's bracket final where you just start losing racks as the split push was already going to be pretty damn good from an Ember Spirit, but when you add familiars to the back of it.
Yeah, I think familiars are really good here. There's a lot of things for him to combo off of. Searing Chains, Axe Call. It's really good to prevent people from running against the Lone Druid. Even a root from the Lone Druid could set up for some good stuns.
At the same time, we're now reaching a point where IG can feel a little bit more aggressive. In fact, XXS, you can see NoTel. He knew what was coming with us down on top of the shrine. The damage, it's high. You'll lose the Monkey King, and now in comes Ember Spirit. The Searing Chains hitting hard. SF's already going to go down. Bobica may join him, but it's a triple kill for Burning. Just sitting on the tree line, doing all the damage with Q to support him. You will be able to get that second kill, so Ana picking up Bobica. But can he get out? Burning and Q are with him. Ana needs just a range for the Spirit, so Burning, if he can do it, there's your Spirit away, but it's the other side of the river, well out of range of the swap.
Well, can't fool a Monkey King player, but Bobica was able to get the stun. He saw the Monkey King and chopped down the tree. And Jerry's like, okay, what just happened to me?
Yep.
Doesn't need items to make plays, it seems like.
Fantastic timing for IG now. Even though the SF did die, you're still looking at the top 3 net worths, all belonging to Invictus Gaming.
Just barely, though. XSS looks like he is going for the Blink build as the main initiator. They don't have a good initiator. I guess Earth Spear is decent, but you want them to be forced to be able to fight. Armlet is okay, but you can't actually force them to fight. You want them to be able to fight into Fatal Bonds, Rock, and Upheaval. That's why you want to pick the Warlock, and do Requiem as well. And
rotations coming up from Invictus Gaming. I think they've had enough of NoTel just farming up on the top lane.
They need to be able to get a swap on him, though. It's not going to be easy at all. Level 1 swap, 700 range. Yeah, they could approach from the top left side, though, and NoTel, I don't think is going to expect a gank from that. Dire has you scan, they expect it from the right side. This could be a disaster for NoTel.
They at least know, so nothing's appearing on the right side. NoTel knows he can hide out back past the tower, let the bear do the work. Well, no one's showing themselves on bottom lane. That's where Monkey King is. You don't have to fight this one. Another entangle, so he has to press the attack a little bit earlier. Fly's moving in too, so they're here ready for the fight. The Ember Spirit jumping in. The Spirits won't do the damage. They're stunned very quick with the swap. NoTel's low. Savage Roar might cause problems. Bobica out of a rolling ball of fall, so NoTel will fall. The Burning may be a casualty of war too. Fly, is there another burst damage with the Spirits fall? Yes, there is. XXS also trapped in the tree lines. Soul Assumption up for Fly. Not enough man to actually use it, however, but it won't matter when Ana will come in for the double kill. They're really committing more into the Ember Spirit now. 4-1-2 for him.
Perfect jump by OG coming in at the right time. And Radiant side, they thought they could get the duel onto the Lone Druid before he died, but no dual damage yet for XSS. And IG will have to search for other ways to increase his damage. I guess they have Venge and President Dark Lord, so being under farm is not the worst thing in the world. You need levels more than anything else, I think, on their heroes.
All coming in for the Shrine. The Spirit jump forward. OP forced to go towards the left. Jirax jumps up to fall back down again. They'll interrupt, so no big raise, no big damage. And SF will die again.
S4 getting a lot of good space. He is not that high on net worth, but he's still pretty close to number 1, and will have his Blink Dagger. Pretty decent timing. He'll probably need a stack Ancients maybe one more time. Actually, I don't know if they want to take. Do you want to stack that one more time?
When he's only got a PMS? Probably not.
Yeah, they're right next to a Shrine. You have Call. It's only level 1 Call. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think you should stack that.
More than likely, they still want that Shrine for after they fight on bottom lane, so they can regen up for that.
So what is Burning going for? Looks like early Solar Crest. So he's going to be playing more of that aura buffing Venge as opposed to, I mean, Helm of Dom is also a strong contender if you want to buff up with auras, but they want Roche. 2 minus armor, make that a 3rd with the Solar Crest. They want to be able to fight inside the pit, which Warlock excels. We already saw that big play from Super earlier, and I wonder if Warlock, although having no points in upheaval, can rival that sort of play.
That's a lot of damage to the mid-tier 1 tower. OP's able to take it, but it's top lane. XXS being initiated on by Jirax. No tells there, but with the press the attack. Overwhelming on, sorry, Jirax forced to get out, but the swap is there from Burning, and we have ourselves a winner with the duel. First bonus points of damage, not to mention friends have arrived. Rolling Boulder will clip No Tell on the way out. So Invictus Gaming, not only do they take the mid-tier 1, they get 2 quick kills, and now pressure the top tier 1.
While on up, pressures the bottom, but he's just an Ember Spirit.
He's nowhere near as fast as a 5-man push from IG like this.
Yeah, their 5 minutes is really strong. I really do like the Venge pick because, firstly, Burning likes to get involved early, so they don't really need a hard carry when they have an SF in the mid lane, and it just synergizes so well with the SF, and it can help the LC kill people very, very quickly. And yeah, he might have not been able to get the kill himself, but still getting tons of damage for good old XXS. And now, Roshan is going to be considered. How do they want to take this? They actually want to be pretty stingy with the rock here, I think. Like, you don't want to have to drop it. Maybe if X blinks in, yeah.
Do IG know that's a fake tree? He's right next to it. It looks like he blends in until he levels up. So you have the Wukong command now available for Jirax and Bobaka. Yeah, the tree disappears.
He knows exactly where he was going to jump to. That's crazy.
Middle lane, SOG pressuring in, so IG, they'll take 3 towers in the space of 2-3 minutes.
That T1 tower is
really
really
out their
rough to lose.
mid-tier 1 tower.
I would rather have that T1 up in mid than a T2 up in dire. But from Radiant point of view, can farm out the jungle very, very quickly. But there is that shrine. That's the thing. Like, the T2 is not as important anymore because of that shrine.
But they just lost their Observer Ward, so if they were thinking about defending the bottom lane, they now don't have really great vision, so they'll have to move in force, which they're actually doing. Under the cover of smoke, IG looking to wrap around the back of him. Jirax is nearby. He'll break the smoke on XXS. They know. They jump through, and they think he's in the tree line. That's why Earth Spirit cuts it down.
And it looks like the smoke will be popped, and XSS is already revealed.
S4's in trouble, however. There you go to quick press the attack, jump forward, duels over an S4, familiar drop down, won't create enough space. S4 already pushing up the daisy, the jump forward, the kick, won't be able to connect on the rock. Won't be able to connect on the tree that Jirax was jumping off.
So much for that blink reveal.
Yep.
S4 cannot die first in these team fights if OG want to be able to take a clean sweep, and that's another one, another notch on the belt for LC.
Yeah. Keep him coming, keep that damage rolling in, and then rebuttaling damage through the Blade Mail.
They thought they had superior positioning, though. They had, like, the deep observer ward inside the jungle, and Jirax had claimed that high ground to make sure they weren't approaching from the shrine. But it's still a very difficult place to fight.
Again, it's the fake tree. Do they know? How well do you know your Dota map? He knows it very well. Jirax goes in for the Wukong command. The double stun, however, may cause enough problem for the Rock. In with the double stun, Burning was pulled into it, but it's accidental. They die at the same time. OP will let the Requiem go. So less damage being done. The Wukong command still stayed up for a long time, and No-Tal can't survive. They just don't have the damage output in order to bring down IG.
My God, they are so used to playing to the Monkey King. That is ridiculous that they were able to spot that out so quickly. They also had the Observer Ward on the left side. I think he might have been able to see it on the minimap because of that. But what a great swap from Burning, swapping out the SF, and they just got pummeled inside that chaotic offering. My God.
Let's see that again. He's standing right next to it, and you're like, okay, there's your first double stun. That looks nice. S4 gets the call, but then the rock drop goes down, and OP gets so much space. Bobaka jumps into the middle of it, and there's just no answer.
Jirax played that really well, though. Even though they spotted him, he was still able to get the Boundless Strike and his ulti off and hide in the trees and survive the entire time. And he also picked off the Earth Spear. So I think that was the best possible play from Jirax in that situation. Although it looked like he was about to get his tree chopped down. He was one tree away from getting his tree chopped down. Ember Spear still struggling a little bit. No Veil picked up yet.
Oh, they want to pick if they can get it. S4, blink, the call. This will be something nice with a double damage rune. They have the extra damage, and S4 gets the Culling Blade off.
They don't have enough physical damage to transition this into a Roach or a T2, it looks like. Rock is down, so they could think about objective, but with only 20 seconds left on the timer, that's not enough time to consider how you want to tackle things next. Noto gets a free tower on the top.
He's going for that Midas. He's trying to play recovery now, OG.
And Ana, what is he going for? BOTs, I suppose. Okay, he has bought the BOTs.
And he's got now the Veil as his next primary thing.
BOT is great here. You can TP onto the Vistas Familiars and the Lone Druid Bear, and they are pretty tanky and pretty hard to burst down.
They got friends here. S4 potentially can blink. Bobaka also going to come in range, and the creep wave arrives. They get the double call up with the creep wave and the Wukong command following into a double stun. Great movement from OG. A double kill for S4.
Oof.
After pick off on burning, they transition this into heavy tower damage.
What a sick play from Jerax. Jerax is playing this Monkey King very, very well, scouting out with the vision.
And now he gets another side.
Yep,
he actually
annoying.
sees OP moving into the Familiars, trying to create more space. Stun number 1, Jerax fell off the tree, so he doesn't have his stun available just yet, but Ember Spirit, Ana comes in. Where's your extra damage? Jerax misses on the double stun. He's looking for Q. In fact, Burning will swap him back in. 2 hits to OP is more than enough to deal with that pesky little monkey, and the jump out. Ana has the Spirit and Spirit again to get out of this. They already got their kills. You lose your Monkey King.
And a Boboka buyback. So he was kind of in poverty mood. Surprisingly, he's not actually that poor despite buying back. He's still way richer than
17 minutes in.
Well, Medallion used, popped on Roche. They don't have Monkey King to scout this out.
But the Familiars, you can still TP the Monkey King in. It's going to take him too long to kill off Roshan.
Yeah, this is not great for them. It is.
Actually, was that a TP to the bottom shrine?
It looks like it. Only level 1 presence of the Dark Lord on them, but this Roshan's going down pretty fast. Is at about a 3rd HP right now. How are they going to approach this? Warlock ult is still up.
They know he's up there. Bobaka's trying to take out the trees. The jump back out for the Monkey King. You know something is coming. Ana, does he Spirit in? How many of those are even left? Jerax jumps away, still fearful. His tree's going to be brought down. No-Tell moves in. The bear, they have to see inside the pit. The resummon Familiars, they're looking on top of Roshan. The stun! Roshan bashed SF for the time the initiation happened. The kick through. Ana is the agency mortal. It was killed off by OG. The Culling Blade will be there, but the Requiem Assault is causing troubles, but not as much as the Wukong command. So your Ember Spirit back to life. He'll Searing Chains up, so XXS cannot steal the inventory. It's Ana who will take it, and Fly looks for his target. Bobaka might be the easiest one. The Monkey King pouncing forward, but Bobaka just rolling boulders away. But no! The turnaround! He'll find one. The Blade Mail is up. Fly does not want to hit him. The Familiar tries to create space. Ana still stalking them, however. He's got the Searing Chains back up again. Fly with a slow. Familiar's back up, but it'll go down as well. That's both of the waves of Familiar's dropped, but at least OG were able to claim the Roshan. But you still see just how far IG are ahead. You lose that, and you still come out on top of the fight.
Their team fight is still far superior. Warlock was a really good positioning there, able to drop everything. And I think a big oversight by XSS this game is not having a Quelling Blade or an Iron Talon. He was right next to the Monkey King, and he saw him, but he couldn't do anything about it because he couldn't cut down the trees. Earth Spirited had his spells out, and he wasn't actually in a good position. He has his Quelling Blade in his backpack at the moment, so they didn't have a good way to kill that tree. They saw Monkey King just jumping back and forth. He was right next to him. Jerax got the vision that they needed, though. That was perfect timing for them to be able to jump in with Ana with that triple. I'm not sure if it was triple remnant, but at least a remnant to get in there.
So they have a couple of things going the way of OG. IG still hold the reins as that SF rapidly approaches the 9,000 net worth shy of the 20-minute mark.
One big play that they could have done there is swap the Legion when he jumps on a tree and then blink and duel him. That actually would have been pretty cool. I would have liked to see that from them because they didn't have a Quelling Blade, but you need some way to knock down trees. You could have used Chaotic Offering on it potentially too.
Yep.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them because without that, they have to sacrifice the Familiars, which give a lot of gold and die pretty quickly when that far away from the Visage.
And it's going to be more important to kill off that Monkey King. He picks up the 5 armor, so at least there's something to negate the negative armor IG is rolling with. But the Basher being completed now makes his ultimate, that Wukong's command, even more problematic for them.
And it looks like Lone Druid also did not commit to the Maelstrom. These two going to be doing the majority of the damage of team fights. Shadow Fiend closing in on BKB quite soon, although not particularly good against the Monkey King ultimate, which I think is going to be a big problem in the team fights. But Lone Druid not super greedy this game. Maelstrom first.
Dire Ops and Sentry go down, so no real good vision, and Lone Druid's not here. So there's no reason for OG to try and contest this tier 2 tower up bottom. It's a rough position to go to anyway. But the TP out from Monkey King leaves one of the Observer Wards on top of the shrine, just to the south. So they can see the movement out from Invictus Gaming and understand just what they're up against.
the Solar Crest is going to be really important here for Vengeful Spirit. Like, misses, yeah, you're taking less damage, but it can also prevent some big things from happening, like the it can also prevent the bash from the Monkey King, which, like, if he gets bashed while trying to wreck whip, that could be really bad for OP.
S4's got a haster, and he's searching for something. OP's going to show himself in mid, but S4 knows. But he can't just jump in. It's a little bit too good. Burning sitting behind him with the Solar Crest ready for the swap.
Oh, he's going full defensive. Although he did go attack speed over to the magic resistance, so not 100%. But with his build, item builds, Solar Crest in the cloak, he's all about buffing up OP.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of him, Syrian chained up. OG, they have their familiars back up again. Flying just resummon, but Anna's just dragging the creep wave into the dire jungle.
He has to be really careful. They can swap him into a boulder smash or a geomagnetic grip, and he will die. So, regardless of whether or not he has Remnant down.
Oh, Chirax, so close to Bobica. He's going to rolling boulder up. Top lane, you've still got No-Tail pressuring in, so while IG's going for this trade-off, OG's trying to get the best they can out of it.
They're waiting at the Remnant.
They still don't want to take a fight outside the base. The Veil of Discord only just got completed as well onto the Ember Spirit, so these small little things they're hoping will give them the advantage, but you cannot deny the power that is IG. They're coming down the mid, the BKB on OP. This will be the 10-second one that he really wants to damage down this mid Rax with, if it's possible.
Vengeful Spirit's position going to be key over here.
S4 gets the call off. They're holding OP there. VS gets a swap up for the rock. Perfect. With the fatal bolt. There's nothing OG can do. They're falling apart. The stun. Maybe there is. Jirax throws the ulti out. The Wukong's command. He's going to sit right on the edge of it. Covered by the tree. So at least pick off the golem. The Basher is stunning over on Bobica. He can't get out of the pit, but Jirax is tied to the magnetite. Bobica will survive with stick charges. 3 down for OG. The buyback comes out from Fly. But now it's up to Fly and No-Tail. IG are ready to storm into the base.
I really like the way they're sieging the high ground, though. Just bump up the Shadow Fiend, press the attack, Solar Crest, why not? Shadow Word, just everything onto the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, the perfect kick. Is there a follow-through? Nope, they're focusing on the Rax for now. The bear comes in, Savage Roar. All they're trying to do is create a little bit of space. And they're going to get it. The Tier 3 tower will remain up, and IG will pull out for now.
That rock was so good, though. It's set up for the LC duel onto the Ember Spirit. You imagine him having a Lincolns, but it's 20 minutes in. You can't go Lincolns this early. He's not even going to have the farm for it, even if he wanted to go for it right now. And that they're just playing really well around the Shadow Fiend. What else can I say about that?
It's perfect. How long can IG keep this up, though? Like, you try and push into the higher ground. You just burnt your BKB.
So the defensive swap, really, really good. And then the rock comes right as the Ember Spirit goes in. He gets duel. He's dead. Everyone's fatal bonds. And Magnetize cleans up another couple. Jerax, again, like, his position is really, really good in this fight. He's right on the edge of the circle.
But it all comes a little bit too late. He knows he has to keep his distance. If he gets fatal bonded up as well, that Monkey King will not survive.
They need the Lone Druid to get bigger. Normally, your high ground defense at that point in time is Lone Druid sitting close to the T4s and hitting the person that's at the tower. But because he has a Solar Crest and because Lone Druid is not super far out, he's 5,000 net worth behind? Wow, he's 4,000. He's like 4,000 net worth behind the SF, but like, and then add in the Solar Crest, which is like another 2,000, 3,000 gold. Your SF is like double the net worth of Lone Druid. Even if he's at the safety of his T4s, he still can't do enough damage.
There's the full Mjolnir up. So maybe with some lightning procs, OG hope to keep the lanes away from them and potentially a little bit more damage in the fights, but this is IG looking towards the mid.
They don't expect the smoke timing because it's not when Rock is up. But No-Tail looks like he has some sort of sixth sense and will back off the map, even though SF was bottom. Wow, that's some next level sense by OG to see this one coming. They have no observer wards on the Radiant side of the map.
Yep.
OP is also farming out in the mid lane, but that's
it. But no one's holding the bottom lane. The top lane is still being pressured in. So OG with the side lane pressure, there was a little bit of a signal for him, and it was enough.
It's also like 7 minutes after Roshan spawns. Roshan, they can't possibly have taken it after that potential smoking kill. But sometimes the best smokings are the ones that you don't expect.
Woo! Oh, Jirax, so close. He gets silenced, but the tree doesn't get destroyed before he pounces away.
He's been very quick on that tree dance.
But he got the vision he was looking for. Trying to work out where IG was, realizing that it has to be around the Ancients.
The Blade Mail is on the LC is going to be a big problem too. Because Lone Druid, he's glass cannon. He gets dueled up with Blade Mail. He's just dead. There is no save for that. I guess maybe Monkey King could bash a lot, but that's pretty unrealistic.
Just
So-
try and distract him. Because they were trying to commit the familiar drops. Like, keep the stuns coming in, so at least you've got that to work with.
So now you have to worry about IG either threatening high ground or threatening Roche. You have to have stronger 5-man at this point, but how do OG win the team fights right now? Rock is back up, everything's back
They're
up.
not
for
even in
Radiant
position
side.
to fight yet. That bottom tier 2 tower is being pressured. OG and not in base. So no tower will arrive. He'll pull his bear back in.
And
But
now
the
they
tier
see
3
Jerax.
tower is OP doing it from range, and there's nothing they could really do to stop him without committing in. So there goes the tier 3 tower.
Now they can shrine and then do Roche. How do OG stop this train? It's maybe smoke wrap around from the south side or something like that. Maybe try and take a fight at the shrine, but they're too late. IG have already claimed that high ground.
Yeah, and look at the vision. Like, the vision is covering every part of it. There's no way OG will be able to de-ward all of that before they really want to try and fight Roshan.
But how do you take Roshan without that shrine? The shrine's down so early into the game.
Yep. But you got a minute and just over a minute before Roshan is up.
They need
so
a-
Invictus Gaming can't go straight for it. But
It's-
OG may think it's already up. They don't have any eyes on this. They have the Observe Ward, which is a little bit deeper, and that may just be enough for them to work out who they want to kill.
They need a big Wukong's command. They also need to be able to jump.
That BKB is
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Oh, IG want to fight. They just got the BKB over from the Legion Commander.
There is an observer wall right there. Oh, and they see it.
the sentry.
Oh, no. Oh, gee, how do they? They're blind. They can't walk up that hill.
Yep. They actually have to wait for somebody else just to pounce out or get Jerax to do the work, and that's what he's doing. Bouncing across the trees, but it's so dangerous to do it. Radiant is scanning in front of Roshan.
Yeah, they were worried about them sneaking it themselves, but the damage is not that great, but potentially they could have had a medallion on the Visage. He's actually still too poor, but he does have it in his quick buy. If he does have the medallion, maybe they could sneak it in before IG could run in there. But XSS still hunting out the Roshan timer. He will not be there for the respawn.
Fly is still trying to push that bottom lane out. Get IG to look behind him, but if they get the Aegis the Immortal, it's almost
It's up
a
now.
ticket to push, and they know it. That's why S4 has to add more pressure. Reveals himself on bottom, and there is no contest here for OG
They
to
can
try
end
and
the
stop
game.
Roshan.
They're going to try and end the game now. And now, what are you trying to do? I guess Visage can actually split push bottom as hard as you can. Visage is actually one of the best supports at taking down towers, but there is going to be a high ground defense. It looks like all the important shrines are up on the side of OG inside their base, and they have to have excellent shrine usage. No Tail has to be in a really good position to not get dueled.
Are they going to play a different angle as well for that Monkey King? Because I'm looking for that. Yeah, he was sitting outside as a fake tree, hoping to go from the north side. He's been battling from the south side of this attack before. And S4, there's your taunt. They 4-staff him up. They're trying to bring the SF close towards the tier 4 towers. OP's in deep. The duel is out. You can say goodbye to the Monkey King, but OP has committed his BKB before the Aegis Immortal is triggered. No buyback, however, available for Monkey King. So to clean up the creep wave and try and hold these towers. No tower with the range damage. OP's fine with this. He's getting pressed the attack. He's getting more life, but here we go again. The call, the drag back, and Searing Chains. This will be the Aegis the Immortal triggered off, but they need more. The melee rank has almost gone down. XXS will now move forward. He'll be locked in position. The Blade Mail is up, triggered his own BKB. There's no duel available, but again, another taunt. They hold the SF in position. The damage is done from IG. All they have to do is get out of here, and they're in a fantastic position. Q, however, he's the man left behind. Adam will not get the Searing Chains off. He missed the combination. So IG get out. The only thing that was lost was the Aegis.
That was a really tough call by OP to use the BKB at the exact time that he did. He still had Aegis and he still has like half health, but he was chained very close to the T4s, and that prevented him from going even closer, because like maybe a straight 4-stab could have pushed him in, and they'd have to like fight into Wukong's ultimate potentially if like Monkey could have bought back. So he just preventively like put his team in a really good position because he popped his BKB so early. A lot of people like to save their BKBs for after the Aegis, but I think in that particular case it was very important that he was able to stop.
Trying to be the aggressors. They just let the Wukong's command go. Lock in the SF. Triple Remnants being committed, but OP, the BKB won't save him, but the Magnetize is on the duel as well. Nowhere to go, but down Piranha. He'll be brought down. Nortel on the run out of here as well. They have to go outside the Wukongs now, but Nortel, more issues. The stuns are there for burning. Hold him in position. They're bonded together. The fate of OG is tied. As for the Blade Mail, can't do enough work. Nortel, the TV out. He still dies a fountain. Jurax took damage from Monaco. It was enough to find the kill. Flies in no man's land. He will be pushing up the daisies. And that's triple kill for him. OG were trying something, a roll of the dice, and all that came up was Snake Eyes.
The thing with this game for IG has just been playing around the SF, and I cannot stress how good they are about playing around the SF. From the press the attacks to dispel the chains, from the pipe, like when he's chained without press the attack, they were all there to save him for that particular fight too. He got his BKB off, he still got cold, but everyone was there. And like, look how close they are to the minimap. They're like right behind him. Boboka's there, he almost gets a stud before the remnants come out, and man, another duel.
Plus 80, Hastrun to close the distance, and Monkey King will fall on the top lane. He's not even just entertaining, he's almost completing the idea of a full assault cuirass.
And Ana needs to complete this Lincoln Sphere. He is just getting dueled far too much. But by the time that happens, Legion Commander is going to have so much damage. He could potentially get a Halberd if he wants to get rid of the Lincolns, but I don't think he's really worried about Ember getting Lincolns anytime soon. And if he does, whatever. They don't have enough damage to kill the SF if he does go for Lincolns. OP going for the Satanic now, so now he can actually save himself.
Yep. And that engagement, it just trigger BKB, trigger Satanic, and turn around because OG showed they don't have enough damage to kill him off during that first little call time.
They do have to worry about the damage output from the Axe, because Axe with Blade Mail is very strong, and on top of that, they can put the Mjolnir on him as he blinks into the fight. And with Fatal Bonds, it's going to be constantly ticking, and Mjolnir damage is going to be pretty big, especially if they can catch the Shadow Fiend without BKB during the entirety of the call. But a big problem is they can't keep track of Burning, they can't keep track of Q. These two heroes and players have dropped big ultimates in a team fight to save the SF from imminent disaster.
No way to control them. OG, it just has to be this fight from inside the base, but
they can't jump the backlines is the big issue. SF is there hitting the tower with Solar Crest, and then
do you just try and win the fight with buyback and hope that that is going to be enough to keep you in this? The buybacks are available there for Lone Druid, Ember, as well as Axe, so the three courts can come back.
You need a more solid game plan than that. If you do that, they'll just push with the next Aegis, and they'll have like, what, 7 lives when they have no buybacks, and that's really, really bad. So they have to jump the backline somehow, maybe like keep Ember Spirit chaining the SF up front, run in the back with Axe, or vice versa, have Axe take care of the SF in front and meanwhile jump the back line with Monkey King. I actually think most of this relies on Jerax. Boundless strikes on Venge and Warlock at the same time. That could be huge when they're jumping the SF without BKB. A big Wukong's command, so that even if you swap the SF out, the Venge is caught in the middle of it, and then everything's getting beaten on by those soldiers. It's very important that potentially he could. But yeah, double pipe out from Boboka and Burning. It's all about saving OP.
For the glory of the Shadow Fiend.
He's not even the highest level on the Radiant side. LC is getting really close up there. Highest level and second highest in net worth. So yeah, you might throw everything at the Shadow Fiend, but LC compounded with this mass dual victory damage and the minus armor from the Terror and the minus armor from the AC. He's going to be hitting very hard.
Yep. And OG need to kite him. They need to be able to... Well, they need to actually almost keep him perma bashed. That's where the Wukong's command can come in.
It really is all on Jerax, I think, to save themselves in the team fight. Like, the bash is... They can't do anything if everyone gets bashed.
They're so problematic, however. At least it's going to be on the side lane, so he's got a couple more trees to play with.
Yeah.
But if he's running on the tree line on the top, or like depending which lane they come from, you still have to sit to the very sides of the map, so there's that small little slither that IG can just move into.
And he has to worry about just
the line, so it's
getting
going to be the top.
They probably need a gem on the Radiant side if they want to be able to kill him, because he does have a... Does
he have the Shadow? He's got the amulet.
They only have one source of detection. That's just on the Warlock, and as in his back. Okay, he just swapped it in.
Yeah,
but they need at least one thing.
But Warlock's sitting on the back lines. Like, he's not going to be the man to just, okay, well, I'm going to throw that in. So as a tree sitting a little bit further up, that's the Monkey King. He's the primary player here, Jerax. Lets the ulti go. There goes your call play again. The bash actually stopping OP from going in deeper. So Jerax has to commit the secondary stun. Then they swap back out. Familiar drop down holding Burning there, but he also has enough life to survive, only just on the edge of the Wukong's command. And Invictus Gaming, you gotta feel confident now.
Uh-oh, no Wukong's command. That's their only
source of lockdown. Uh-oh, very much indeed. They smoke up now, OG. How do you do this? It has to be the call of a lifetime now from S4. The pressure is on him. There goes your call. OP being dragged in. Familiar's right on top. They do a heavy amount of damage. There's your follow-up stun. But XXS just triggers his own BKB, looking towards the racks. Can they control him up? OP as well as XXS. They just focus on that now. S4 in again. Gets the call up on the run. It is perfect. It'll bring down the house. OG magnetized up. And really, they are losing this hard. OG will buy back heavy, but they've lost their melee racks up on the top. They need a consolation prize. S4, he's able to get the dunk down, so Bobacom will fall. Notel, baby, no, Burning will swap him in. Notel, run away. OP too much damage. Notel trying to be protected. He's gone. That's a dieback from him as well. And it's Morris, and they just keep going. S4, jump in, look for the spin damage, get the triple kill. Holy crap, he got so many spins off. The damage is there. He dunks too early over OP, but Jirax with the basher and the Team 4 towers, he still can't do it. The immortal feed stands over the corpses of the OG lineup.
That's a wipe.
That's bottom racks as well.
That's everything they have.
No
There's
buybacks
nothing
available.
left.
OG, it may be time to accept their fate.
That's a wipe. They really, without Wukong's command, they just have no fight really. And I do like how they were like, okay, let's just go for the wreck. You're not going to fight us.
Notel's trying it. Q is standing his ground with the upheaval. Notel's got the range on this, so he's okay with that. And Q, low on life. They just want him down. Notel, he's got the movement speed. Q starts the TP. 2 hits from Notel. He savage draws to cancel it, so they'll at least get the consolation prize, which is Q. They should get the they have the consolation prize. But that's a mega kill streak overall, Q. Heavy amount of money in for Notel, but the base of OG is in tatters.
I think one of the most important this game post-draft for IG was Burning committing to this save SF build. The Solar Crest into the pipe, into the Dragon Lance, into the pipe. Oh, Jirax.
No, Roshan stunned. Roshan stunned when there was only 2 of them there. Did they actually cotton on to that fact? Now Jirax lets the Wukong command out. The 3-man stun flies on the way in. He'll jump up. Roshan's low. The kick is down. OP has the Aegis, the Immortal, and the taunt is there. There was a YOLO play from OG, but what choice did they have? IG, they are the unstoppable force. Burning will swap him back in. Savage Roar creates more space for Fly, but will it be enough? You're going to lose your bear. They stun, they hold him in. Anna will jump up, but now he's magnetized up. Bobacar and Burning teaming up. Anna's gone. No buyback available. This will be it if Notal goes down. They're already up against Megas. No one's left alive to defend. GG will win. Invictus Gaming take a 3-0 against what looked like an unstoppable OG. Invictus Gaming